Greetings, I am the Quest Master and welcome to Quest for Lubok. Today I'm talking about an update. The update I'm talking about is Lake Xyith. It is a new portion of the game that I've been working on all week. It is actually quite interesting. I'll tell you a little bit about it. But if you're new to this channel, I am a one-man crew. I'm a father, a husband, a worker. I'm working on this game, you see, a text adventure that I started working on in QBasic when I was a kid. And then I stopped for a long while. Then I had a family and all that stuff, got married, got a job like, you do. And then I decided to remake this game, though it was never completed whatsoever. The engine is entirely created by myself. I know I've been asked a few times on Reddit, and I believe on Twitter too. I'm not too sure, but people have been asking me, what kind of an engine do you use for your game? Well, the engine I'm using is entirely 100% written by myself. It's a very basic engine, written in QBasic or QB64, whatever you like to call it. I like to call it QBasic because it's QB, which is QBasic 64. So I'm just going to reference it as QBasic 64 or QBasic or whatever mood I'm in. But anyways, yeah, I know I'm trying to sound all official and serious, and it's not really. It's coming off more asinine than anything. But anyways, with this whole concept of this game is that this whole concept is basically me rediscovering my love of it, wanting to dive back into it and create something great. Not only for myself, but to inspire people to create something great themselves. And, who knows? It might inspire my kids to get into programming. So, with that being said, Quest for Lubok is basically my swan song. It's basically my attempt at building Xanadu with my own two hands. Like an architect or a home builder or a construction worker or whatever who tries to build a skyscraper by themselves. And you kind of see that within this game, within this whole array of code, which is basically pretty simple. It's items and characters, it's movement paths, it's the whole 9 yards. And it works so perfectly. It's something basic to create something that one player could explore on their own time without having to feel rushed whatsoever. Not having to worry about getting killed or losing a life in the game or anything like that. It's one continuous, vast, open world sort of path to a mysterious land to which the player has basically to do anything they want within a set guidelines. It's open, but it's not open. It's more for the casual player or the player who has never been into text adventures or or anything like that and wants to get into it. It's a good stepping stone into diving into the abyss with such great hits like Zork and Infidel and all that stuff, right? So with all that said, it's actually something that I actually really like because at the end of it, it's just something to have fun with, If you want to allow yourself the pleasure of just wandering around, it's completely 100% open sourced. It's free for everyone to use, modify, study from, turn it into whatever you want on your own leisure. And that's the great thing about Quest for Lubok is that that's what it is. Getting back on topic, on people asking me about the engine and whatnot. The whole concept of the engine was so that it could be bare minimum, bare back to basics sort of ordeal, where you could play this game and study it and make it as such. Think of it as a car, right? So I gave you guys the chassis and the shell, But you got to put the engine. No. You know what? No, that's a terrible analogy. I gave you the engine. Build the car around the engine. There you go. That makes a lot more sense. You see, now I'm on the ball, and it's just one of those things that I want to do to inspire people. But this is the thing, though, is that gaming should be casual. I'm in the boat that gaming you know what? Sure, it could be intense, it could be graphic, it could be gory, it could be crude, it could be basic, it could be anything you want. But it should be a sense of relaxation and a sense of separating yourself from reality. And that's what the whole thing of the game should be, is that it should be like that. It should be something that you could sit down after a stressful day at work and be like, okay, well, I'm going to go play Quest for Lubok, you know? And I'm just going to sit here with a can of soda and just mellow out and relax and watch the madness unfold. And that's the thing, is that, like, you could do anything you want with it. If you don't like the idea of Quest for Lubok, or maybe you think you need to, like, update an area or a pathway or, you know, a character, then go for it. Go to town. But that's what this game's for. It's for a teaching tool. It's for having fun. And that's what this whole idea of Quest for Lubok is. So have fun with it at your own discretion. Come on in, sit down, take your shoes off, pour yourself some lemonade, because it is hot in Edmonton. It's, I don't know what it's to say over here, 24 degrees Celsius? 24 degrees Celsius. That is ridiculously hot. And don't get me wrong, like, yeah, I get it. Okay, in a month and a half, it'll be, you know, October. It's crazy, right? Like, I don't know. Well, a month and a half, maybe 2 months, yeah. Well, I'm just saying a month and a half till October, which I think is gonna be a lot of fun because it's gonna be spooky. Like, I love Halloween. Halloween's my favorite time of year, next to Thanksgiving. And but yeah, anyways, so yeah, that's the whole enchilada with Quest for Lubok. And I know I go by a strange monocle, moniker, Quest Master. But that's because I really like old Quest games, like old fantasy dungeon games, You can't see those games anymore. You can, but they're kind of crappy. There's like Microsoft Adventure, like the text one, that's pretty good. But I rather, give me Zork any day of the week. But anyways, I digress. So, Lake Xyith in Quest for Lubok. It's a place of intrigue and a place of much sadness. The reasoning behind that is because the character, your character, goes through this lake, goes through this area, and it's a lake, and around the lake, it's kind of like these little huts, little homes, and there's a fence, right, like a wall, a brick wall. But the dark history of this whole place is that Lake Xyith was a place to where worshippers of an ancient deity, a being of untold strength and power, who can wipe out humanity in the blink of an eye. Now, these people are religious fanatics. Now, not that there's anything wrong with being religious or anything whatsoever, but when you use your religion to kind of wipe out the rest of the world, claiming that they're right, I don't know. To me, I think that's kind of odd. But this group of people lived like this in this small makeshift community around Lake Xyith. So this great battle, if you remember the Great Library, there's a section in the Great Library that talks about Lake Xyith and the Great Battle. And people also talk about it in the game too, the NPCs. And within this game, these people were trying to resurrect this ancient deity, bring back this ancient deity of immense powers and strengths and magic. So the king, not Prince Lubok, the king prior to him, raised a small army and went in, and while they were trying to bring their evil emperor, godlike being whatsoever into our realm, the army showed up, and a bloody battle ensued. Lots of people died. Everything got destroyed, basically. Everything within the radius of the village got burnt to a crisp by the immense strength and energy and power and electricity that was propelled from the entranceway, because the mighty creature, which I'm thinking towards more like a mysterious dragon fellow. I don't know. It's all up in the drawing board, so I don't know. I'll let you guys know in a future update. And so this being destroyed everything, but yet the king's army came in and wiped out everybody, and then at the end, everybody died. So there were no winners or losers. So the earth was burnt to cinder, over a period of time, the lake started to return to normal. The grass began to grow and everything started to grow over everything. And that's when you come in and you discover this place, and there's some people left who are still alive, but not all there. The bloody conflict of war took a toll on them. So then they're trying to tell you what's real and what's going on and what happened. And then you come across the spirits of the dead soldiers who tell you their version of the stories and who live in a constant loop, right? So basically, it's you, the player, walking around this vast area, opening up their minds to this whole new experience, this whole new strange location. And at the end of it, you're left to make up your own conclusion. It's one of those things that I really like. There's a lot of people that'll tell you otherwise about a game like this. They'll be like, it's a tried, tired trope of, war is bad and whatnot. But in this case, is war really bad? If you're alone and there's somebody over yonder that is trying to resurrect an ancient evil, god from another realm to come in and kill everybody, are you just gonna sit around and just do nothing? Like, I don't know. I don't think I would, but who knows? But that's the fun about this game, is that this game is fun, and it's just so, oh man. I was playing it yesterday. I had to miss a day of work yesterday because my son was sick. So I volunteered to stay home with him. And so I'm playing this game as my kid's on the couch, drinking ginger ale and eating crackers and watching cartoons. And I'm just like, oh, okay. I checked it out. I had fun with it. Sure, I may be tooting my own horn around here, but it's just one of those things that I'm proud of. If that makes any sense. I'm really, really proud of it. But with it, you go around the whole area, you interact with objects, you interact with characters and NPCs and ghosts and goblins and all those fun stuff, and you get to your own understanding of it. And so as you wander around this whole place, you start to understand the real history of it. You start to understand the blight of the masses and the fear that comes with knowing what you know. Because this whole concept of this game is you, the player, who's a complete outsider, who has no idea what's going on, no idea of the history or the strengths or the fables of these peoples. These people never existed until you stumbled upon this area. It's separated from mankind. So think of it as an uncommunicated tribe. Nomadic tribes somewhere in the middle of nowhere. For this concept, let's say Siberia, or and they've never been around. They've been around since the dawn of time, but no one knows nothing about them, and they know nothing of you. So you being the outsider, you're wandering around this place, getting an understanding, a feel of these people. You see some things that you recognize and see, but that's your brain just trying to make a connection with everything around you. Then you go about and you hear these people's histories and their beliefs and whatnot, and you're just taking it all in. That's what this game's all about. You're the outsider looking in. And to them, these people in this game, you're the outsider. But there is no death or murder going to happen to you or happen to any of the people around you. That's not going to happen. You're just an adventurer who respects everything around you, and they respect you. Because the fear of the unknown is the greatest enemy of mankind. A person by themselves is intelligent. A person by themselves in a small group, that's borderline intelligence. A large society full of people that know nothing about you, you know nothing about them, that's stupidity. That brings out the stupid in people. And people are like this, they cry for peace, they cry for understanding, they cry for the whole 9 yards. But deep down inside, they hate anything that's different than them. You know, everyone's like this. All groups of people are like this. And within this game, though, you have to kind of pinpoint the narrative a little bit just to get the full picture. Because within the game, the people who were killed by the soldiers, their loved ones, hate the soldiers and the captains and, whatnot. But the ghosts of the people who are killed by the soldiers live a horrible, miserable existence on the other side. There's one person, actually, I will say this, though, and I do believe a lot of people like this. In room 678, you examine the ghost, and it's a look of sorrow upon its face. The eyes seem to be no longer existent, and while the poor soul doesn't seem to either know nor care that you are there, the air around it grows ever so cold. So you talk to the ghost in room 678, which is at Lake Xyith. Have you seen my child? And then you ask the ghost, child? I can't remember her name. I can't seem to remember anything about her. But the ghost knows it has a child, but doesn't know anything of it or remember anything of it. But then you see the soldiers that when they're human, right, they hate these groups of people because, they're worshiping their own god and blah, 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 blah. But the ghosts of the soldiers are still destined to fight and to kill and are stuck in this time loop, and they're just trying to figure it all out, but they can't. And that's the whole concept of the Lake Xyith area, is that it's for somebody who wants to have the basic understanding of how stupid humanity is and how stupid life is. Just because, everybody yearns for peace, but nobody actually wants to make the sacrifice for peace. They always want everybody else to do it so that they can come in at the last minute with the upper hand if everything changes, right? But that's the whole effect of it. That's the whole enchilada of Lake Xyith. It's going through a battlefield, a haunted battlefield, seeing the scars on the land, seeing the people just in torment and agony, and then going about and trying to get out of there and try to make light of the situation. With that being said, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, subscribe, like, comment, share, spread the word about Quest for Lubok. If you haven't followed me on Twitter yet, go for it. The links and the descriptions are all in the links are all in the description below. I also have a Reddit page. Reddit page. I upload to Reddit. I do have a Reddit group or subreddit. I got a subreddit. Yeah, there you go. Subreddit. There's a subreddit I have. Link in the description below. If you like downloading these videos or whatever, you can over at internetarchive.org. archive.org. I got a whole thing over there. Don't forget to come over and follow me and read my blog, questforlubok.org. You won't be disappointed. And follow me on GitHub and check out the GitHub that I have set up, and you could actually play, or not play, you can read the source code and modify it to your heart's delight over there on the GitHub. Don't forget to play Quest for Lubok online on Parchment from my good friend, oh man, I forgot his name. Aaron. I'm just going to say his name's Aaron. I'm kidding, of course, dude. I'm joking. But anyways, if you guys watched the last episode, then you guys will know I'm totally joking. Totally joking, I swear. But anyways, play it on Parchment online. You can play it on the web browser. That's really cool. So with that being said, have a wonderful day, you guys. Good night. God bless. Good luck out there. And always remember that no matter whatever happens in life, I love you. Or, yeah. Anyway, I'm just messing around. Anyways, till next time, adventurer, keep traveling and keep holding tight to that lamp.